I love Vrabel breaking that down. Good stuff. Warriors!
Oh, my God.
You saw Mac Hollins?
I did. It's hard to not see Mac Hollins.
Entering and exiting. He did the exact same thing. He had like the bells or whatever. I don't even know what those were.
I think it was
the bottles?
Yeah,
just clanging them together?
Bottles together. These glass bottles together.
Nice.
It's an all-time movie. All-time reference. I like to go Road Warriors specifically. They're just going Warriors.
Yeah.
Warriors! Movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
Which is great. They're truly the Road Warriors, which to me is Legion of Doom, which is why we came back with that.
Oh, that's what that was.
Oh, yeah.
I assumed that was from the movie.
No.
Got it.
One of the best tag teams of all time. Yeah.
Wonderful.
The Road Warriors.
Well, again, they go in, and their defense, as shaky as it looked to start, and Denver and Stidham, I mean, they had a couple of drives, lest you forget. You know, they start with a 3-and-out. They're running around. They're flying, meaning the Pats defense. Then they give up the 52-yarder to Mims. Sutton gets in the end zone a few plays later. And next thing you know, all of a sudden it's 7-0. Pats kick it back. Denver has a little drive where Sutton dropped a pass on third down. He beat Gonzo again.
He did. Yeah, that was a little bit behind him, but if you're Cortland Sutton, you have to catch that with a backup quarterback.
Thank you. If Bo Nix throws it, you're like, come on, better ball. It's your backup.
No. You got to help him. And Cortland Sutton's supposed to be good, so like you have to make that catch.
Okay, Pats go 3-and-out again. There's a sack on second down, and you're like, May is not seeing the field, and he looks a little rattled. And then the Broncos go on their drive. 11 plays, 43 yards, 6:32, where they decide to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, on the 14.
They have all the momentum.
Oh, yeah.
And they wind up giving it back to the Patriots because of that. A few drives later, the Patriots wind up scoring after a Stidham fumble, quote-unquote fumble.
What a wild play.
What
was that?
Do you think they got that right?
So,
yes.
Yeah. No, well, yes and no. I think it was a fumble.
If it's a fumble, they blew it dead and it should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
That's why I was like, what in the wide world of sports is this? Because, like, both teams could be pissed because you're like, all right, so was it an incomplete pass? That's what Denver's rooting for. Then the Patriots are like, well, that's a touchdown. And at that point, the Patriots obviously had 0 points on the board, so you're like, they kind of need the defensive score. I wasn't sure they were even able to put it in the end zone on the offense.
Me neither.
So you're like, so what is that? It can't be both things. And then they're like, we're just going to, kind of screw both teams in a way, and we're going to rule it a fumble because in real time it looked like a fumble to me because it was just like so weird, and then he's kind of like pushing it. And then when you saw enough of the replays, it was like, oh, that is kind of like down the line.
I actually thought it was exactly what you just said.
Oh.
No, at real speed, I thought fumble.
Yeah.
Then I watched the replay, and I'm like, crap, that looks like a full. I honestly thought it was a forward pass. Like, whatever. They looked at it. But it
was such a weird, push thing that it was, hard to, I don't know. That was weird. But then you're like, why'd you blow it dead? Because on the field, I thought live, a couple of the officials that were near it kind of got out of the way, and they let the scoop and score happen. And then Nance is trying to explain it away. It's like, all right, well, they didn't blow it dead because they got to take a look at this one. And then they come back, overturn it, but not a touchdown. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, the two next to the play let it go. The ones on the other sides, you could hear the whistle blowing the whole time.
Dude, what are you doing? Let the play out. And they didn't. And so I thought it should have been a scoop and score. It wasn't. Now, thankfully, they were able to put it in the end zone there, and it wasn't going to be one of these, we're looking back on it and be like, oh, man, how they called it right.
But I agree with you. I didn't necessarily think they were going to score there. And that's late in the half. You've been down 7-0. This felt like a real opportunity. 6-yard slant to Booty, and then May runs it in.
But that is such a momentum swing, going back to your point. So the second quarter starts with Denver, having the ball deep in Patriots territory, and they go for it on fourth down. And they run a horrible play. It wasn't even close. It was just a mess. They should be up 10-0. They're not. Their defense even gets the ball back after that. And then you have this weird Stidham push pass fumble thing. Push pass.
Well, with him it's both.
And then the Patriots score a touchdown. So at that point, it's 7-7. But man, did that momentum swing in favor of the Patriots after those last 3 possessions?
Well, and the end of the half was wild. They both were missing field goals right before the end of the half, so the action picked up as much as it did in this game. A game with 17 total points.
Right.
The action picked up a little bit, but no, that was a huge swing. It all began with what I thought was a pretty brainless decision by Sean Payton to go for it on fourth down.
Decision. You're up 10-0 at that point. What a stranglehold that would have been.
And you're at home. May's doing nothing. The Pats are doing nothing against this defense. In fact, really all day they did nothing. They had one long drive that ended in points, and that was the field goal drive where they had to go for it on fourth down, and they barely got it. I mean, the touchdown drive was, 2 plays, 12 yards. So they didn't drive the field against this Denver defense and score. all day long. Kick your field goal, make them go the whole field.
Yeah.
You have a backup quarterback and a 10-point lead at home in the AFC title game approaching the middle of the second quarter.
No, this isn't like
massive mistake.
You're
by
not
him.
playing against, the 07 Patriots where you're like, all right, we're not going to win with field goals. You have your backup quarterback. The Patriots had already had the ball 3 times when the Broncos elected to go for it, 4th and 1, up 7. Patriots had the ball 3 times for a total of 12 yards. And you're like, no, we're going to need touchdowns here. I'm like, I don't know.
Crazy.
You might not. And so that one in real time, and I'm normally, don't get me wrong, I'm normally a go for it, but
Me too.
there's situations for all these things.
I'm normally a go for it guy too. I wanted the Patriots to go for it on their tush push, which again, I hated that play call.
Right.
Why is Milton Williams on offense when he's never done it? Tonga, you never run the tush push. Like, I hated the Patriots play call.
That was so weird.
But I wanted them to go for it because they have May. Normally when I want to be aggressive and I want to go for it, and there are lines to it. McVay was too aggressive last night. 4th and 5 is a lot different than 4th and 1. But with your backup quarterback, like to me, I thought that was way too aggressive.
In those elements, I think we may have given the kicker edge to the Patriots going in.
We did.
But that's also risky on either side. I don't know if you want to leave it in the hands of that if it's a further field goal, right? Or I think that one would have been the elements hadn't shifted yet, and it would have been a Will Lutz 30-yard field goal. You're up 10-0, in all likelihood.
Yeah. So here's Sean Payton after the game on the 4th down decision. He did a one-on-one with Evan Washburn after the game. Wasn't asked about it. Why ask about the 4th down decision? But then after the game in his press conference, he was asked about it.
Sean, you mentioned the field goal. What was the decision making on the 4th and 1 early in the second quarter to go for it?
Yeah, I just felt like, man, we had momentum to get up 14. I felt like we had a good call.
Horrible call.
And where were we at yard line wise there? Yeah, I think the feeling was, man, let's be aggressive. To get up 14. I was just watching the way our defense was playing, and the turnover on our end resulting in a touchdown, and outside of that, man, I thought we did a good job in containing them. There'll be a number of things when we watch the tape I'll look at and critique and pay close attention to, but it was a hard-fought game, and we didn't do enough to win it.
If they kick the field goal there, they might still be playing. They might be in overtime number 5 trying to figure out how to score. No, I'm saying
they might still be playing going to the Super Bowl. They might still be playing that game.
The game might still be going on because I don't think either offense was going to score in overtime because the weather was only getting worse as it was going on. It would have been insane. It was just hold on to the ball, don't snap the ball into the end zone was basically how I was watching the 4th quarter. So, yeah, I mean, he can explain it away all he wants, but, that game or that play call cost him.
Yeah, he's like, I like the play call. Stupid.
The play call was terrible. He almost gets sacked by 2 different players, and then almost get intercepted by 2 different players. There was 2 guys, one of them, friend of the show, Milton Williams, was in the lap of Jarrett Stidham, and then he threw it to Craig Woodson, and I think it was Tavai was right there, too. They weren't even if he caught it, it was short of the first down. It was a horrible play call, but the decision, I think, was actually worse.
This Patriots defense, Keefe, and
nails.
It's unbelievable. So the Patriots are the 3rd team in the Super Bowl era to win a conference championship with 10 points or less. Buffalo beat Denver in 91, 10-7. And then Los Angeles, I'm guessing that is the Rams. That must be the Rams. Beat Tampa Bay 9-0 in the 79 NFC championship game. So that's it. They're the 3rd team to do it. And I think that speaks to their defense. I wouldn't tell you that May and the offense were great yesterday. They weren't. May made enough plays with his legs, and I'll take that. But I would never tell you they were good on offense, and McDaniels didn't feel dialed in, and May wasn't very good, and the conditions were a factor, and the offense looked rattled and, discombobulated right from the start.
Yeah.
But the defense, again, I said before, Keith, the defense might be good enough to carry them to the Super Bowl past Jarrett Stidham. I didn't know if the defense is good enough to carry them all the way to winning a Super Bowl championship. Now I'm not so sure. I mean,
they could.
I'm starting to wonder now that they're here.
Well, and it's funny, the way this path has been, it's been all great defenses along the way, and then you can kind of argue up or down the offenses. Obviously, Denver takes a big hit without Bo Nix, but the Patriots defense is right there with all these other teams, and so even if the opposing defense is limiting Drake May, who had an MVP season, but even if they're not scoring much, it doesn't seem like it really matters because this Patriots defense is up to every challenge. They allowed 3.3 yards per carry, but for the lead back, RJ Harvey, 2.8 yards a carry. They were just stuffing him because they needed him desperately, right? Anytime you have a backup quarterback, if you can start 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, things like that, maybe you have a chance. But they were getting to him, and they just dialed up the pressure. They turned Stidham over a couple of times. Obviously, the one score the Patriots had was a direct result of the Patriots defense. They really actually scored. They just didn't give it to him.
Yeah, good point.
So, like, they were awesome. And some might say, wow, it was Stidham. Okay, whatever. That's who was in front of you. And they've allowed 2 touchdowns on defense in 3 playoff games. Like, give me a break.
And
none to Herbert, 1 to Stroud, 1 to Stidham.
Yep, and I thought one of the Stroud ones was a short field. I'd have to double check.
Yeah, it might have been.
But yeah, that's
either
all.
Way,
that's
2
all they've
touchdowns.
allowed.
Like, good
it
Lord.
was one of the. It was one of the strip sacks.
Patriots 72 first half yards is on the other side of the ball. Fewest in a playoff half since they recorded 54 in the first half against the Jaguars in '98. They lost that game 25-10.
Big eeks.
Patriots had 12 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of game it was. You had to win on
defense. That's why the Payton decision was so dumb. Well, that's what we had seen to that point.
I agree. Payton made a massive mistake. Vrabel understood the game. He understood the assignment, and he passed it with flying colors. And it's part of the reason why the Broncos are out. You can discuss 617-779-7937. Speaking of Vrabel, we like to hear from Mike Vrabel addressing the team in a victorious locker room every Patriots Monday. You'll get to that and more on the coaching advantage the Patriots had yesterday. Are they going to have it in the Super Bowl as well? Can that carry them all the way to a title? That's next.